All right. So welcome everyone here to our masterclass, Save Your Marriage in Less Than 6 Months Without Getting Your Heart Hurt. My name is Heather Choate. I'm grateful and I'm honored to be here with you. You are amazing to me because you showed up, and that says something really special about you, that you are wanting to find solutions here. You are wanting to know what you can do to improve your relationships, to improve your happiness in your marriage, to save your marriage from divorce, and to be able to have a truly thriving relationship. And that is what we are all about. Awesome. I just got word that Coach Curtis is here. I'm going to make him a panelist as well. So Coach Curtis is going to be helping me in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions over there. And we want to make this a dialogue, not just a monologue. So please use the chat to check in. Let me know any aha moments that you guys may be having. Let me know any questions that you may be having. And we will make sure that we make this not just great information today, but transformation, because that is what is really all about, right? Is getting you guys the solution that you need for your relationship and have it be as effective and healthy as possible. All right, awesome. So save your marriage in 6 months or less. I want to start right off the bat with a poll. So let me go ahead and launch that and let me know what your situation is. Now, some of you are familiar faces here. Some of you have never seen us before. If you've been to our masterclass before, you'll know I always want to start with what your situation is. That way I know how I can help you best in our time together. So couple A, divorce filed. Maybe your spouse has already talked to a lawyer. Maybe they've already filed for divorce or they're threatening divorce, and you want to know what you can do to stop it and how to get them back for good. Awesome. Couple C would be no trust, maybe affairs going on. Maybe they're having an affair. Maybe they've had multiple affairs. Maybe you've had multiple affairs, or there are just other major trust issues going on between you. You want to be able to heal that damage and have trust between you again. And then couple C would be dealing with a lot of communication challenges. Maybe they're ignoring you, blocking you, they won't open up. Maybe everything's turning into a fight. There's a lot of tension. You want to know how to open up communication, how to have respect and build connection. So weigh in over there on the poll. The more people that weigh in, then the better I know how to help you guys. And I can go deeper into any of these things today. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys. So I'm going to end the poll, and I see some of you over there in the chat as well. So thank you. All right. So we've got 36% are saying couple A, 45% are saying B, and 18% communication. Okay, awesome. So definitely a lot of issues with trust and affairs. I will make sure we go deep into that, as well as those dealing with divorce as well. Awesome. You guys are great. This is going to be fun. All right. So my gift to you guys for coming today, that's going to help you with that communication that can be so challenging, is our $47 training, 7 proven conversation starters guide for free. So just go ahead and fill out this quick form that we're going to put over in the chat. It's just a Google form. That way we can text or email you this guide. Now, what I love about this guide is that, a little bit about me, I have been married for, 16 and a half years now. And when my marriage has struggled, and it has, communication is always the first thing that goes out the window, right? There's always a misunderstanding. There's always a disconnect. There's always judging and blaming and all those things that happen. And I tend to be the one that pursues and tries to get things solved. And my husband tends to be the one that withdraws and kind of puts up the walls and stone walls and does a silent treatment. And so I was really tired of getting those one-word answers like, hey, can we talk about this? Yes. What's going on? Nothing. How are you? Fine. Right. And it feels like every time you're trying, you're just kind of hitting up against a brick wall, right? You guys relate to that? Raise your hand. Let me know in the chat if you guys have experienced that. And so what we've created here were conversation starters that give you more than just the one-word response. Very powerful way to be able to open up communication. And especially if you're talking about trust issues, which a lot of you are here, this is really going to help you know how to handle sensitive subjects, how to bring up hard conversations that maybe they've been resisting, and how to get that communication open again. All right, so go ahead and grab that right now. You'll see the link Diego, our team member here, just posted in the chat. So fill out that quick form and we will email you or text you this guide right after the masterclass. All right, awesome. My gift to you. So some of you are my friends and I've seen you here for a long time, and some of you are my new friends and I'm excited to get to know you and meet you. And so a little bit about us, if you've never heard of High Thrive Coaching or myself or Marc Johnston before, but we have helped now over 12,000, almost 13,000 couples save their marriage from divorce. We worked with tens of thousands of couples now all around the world. And we found that there's one thing that's a big reason why marriages were failing to solve problems and they're ending in divorce. Let's put this in the chat real quick. How many marriages are ending in divorce currently? Throw out a statistic. Let me know. What have you heard? This is a pretty common one. Put it out there. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you, Masra. Yeah, I got your over there. Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, how many guys think on average, what's the current stat of how many marriages are ending in divorce? Put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. Jen says 40 to 50%. Misra, I believe 55%. Sorry if I got your name wrong. Yeah. So it's between 50, about 55, sometimes even some studies are showing 60% worldwide average there. Do you know, though, this is less known, of those couples that stay together, how many report actually being happy in their marriage? How many do you think are actually happy in their marriage of those that stay together? This one's not as widely known. So think about the couples that you know, what your experience has been. Yeah, Jen says 10 to 20%, James 8%. I think there's been some followers here that are catching on to what I've been saying for a while. You're right. It's 8% of couples, which means that 92% of couples are either A, divorced, or B, unhappy. What the heck? Like, why is this happening? Does that rile anyone else up? I'm like, what? That so many people are in a relationship and they're so unhappy. So our mission is to create a world where a happy marriage is the norm, where a happy family life is the norm, where people are taught relationship skills that our society is absolutely failing to teach you guys. So if your marriage is on the rocks, if you feel like you're on your last leg of hope, if you feel like everything you're doing isn't working, I want you to know this. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. Yes, you have some responsibility and accountability in what's happening, but the bottom line is that you have not been taught how to have a healthy and successful relationship. Our society is not teaching it. It is not supporting healthy relationships. The good news is that you can learn how to do that and how to have those skills. Okay. So I'm going to share that with you today. And I say it's something insane because, like I said, no one else is talking about it. Otherwise, there would be a lot more happy marriages out there, right? We're 12,000, nearly 13,000 marriages now. And it's just what we do every single day. And we know that it works. Before I go into that, though, I want to share with you guys the 5 biggest mistakes that most people make when their spouse wants out. I've made almost every single one of these, and we're definitely going to go into trust and divorce issues for sure. How you can solve any problem in your marriage in the next 6 months or less. And yes, I can say that with a bold statement with absolute integrity because I've seen it over and over and over again so many times that I know that it works. Okay. So 5 common mistakes that most people make. Let's dive into it. First problem here is your spouse wants a divorce. They want a separation, or maybe they're having an affair. What do most people do in this situation? Light up that chat, guys. Let me know, what do most people do in this situation? What do you see other people doing when their spouse wants out? What have you been doing when your spouse is saying, I want a divorce? I want to be, have separation here. I'm having an affair. What do most people do when that happens? How do they think they should solve it? What are some of the common solutions that people think are going to solve that problem? Let me know in the chat. Oh, commit suicide. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, yes, that is a potential that we do see. I don't often hear that one. Try to change yourself. James says, yeah, they try to work on themselves. Conventional wisdom. That's a big one out there, right? If you guys have been following us for any amount of time, you know that I say working on yourself. in and of itself is not the solution. And we'll share why here in a minute. I like this. Is it Misra? I hope I got that right. Try and convince them that we should try therapy and individual workout. Yeah, their problems. Plead, James. Yes, that's exactly what they do, right? They try to go to therapy. They think, let's do counseling. We'll talk to our friends and family. Let's watch a bunch of YouTube videos, self-help, try to work on it yourself, all of those things. What's the problem this creates? The problem this creates is that there's usually no direction in these methods. Oftentimes there's very little direction in therapy. There's very little direction in a self-help book or a do-it-yourself kind of thing. It could be absolutely ineffective, or it could just take too long, which leads to divorce. For me, I tried every one of these. My husband wouldn't go to therapy. He wasn't interested in being considered a problem and that I needed to fix him. So that didn't work. I tried talking to friends and family. Their relationships weren't that great anyway. So their advice really didn't help, right? And then the self-help books is what I really dove into. I did the Love Dare like 3 times, tried to just service my husband to death. It was ineffective. It just didn't work. I did the love languages, and that was somewhat effective, but very surface level. It didn't really help us address our deeper issues. So what we do instead is we help you save your marriage in 6 months or less without wasting years in therapy and risking divorce. This is radically different than else that is out there. It is a proven, systematic process that we use to scientifically assess your marriage, diagnose what's going on, and give you the treatment plan that's going to get you where you want to be in your marriage. Does that sound good? Does that sound different than what you've been doing up until this point? Awesome. All right, Gigi, got it. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I want to know in the chat, what have you already tried to do to solve some of these things? Let me know. Have you tried counseling? Like someone, said right over there. Have you tried to work on yourself? Who here has been told that to save your marriage, you should just work on yourself, become a better version of yourself? And all that's fine and good, but unless you have some specific direction, in and of itself, it's not the solution, right? Have you tried marriage books? Have you tried other programs out there? Have you done the YouTube videos and doing all these different things? Yeah, men's marriage mentoring group. Thank you, Scott, for sharing that. So you've done some other mentoring groups. Maybe you've done some other programs or tried some other different techniques out there. So what else have you guys tried to do to solve this? And why do you think it hasn't helped you get there? All right, the thunder's rolling in, the rain's rolling in. So if you hear some background noise, that's what's going on. It might even be hail. What a fun thing. I love it. We need it. Yeah, exactly. Trying counseling, wouldn't all of those things. That's exactly what happens. We plead, the therapy, like Gigi said. Yeah, tried working on yourself, Brandon, joined a message group. Yeah, nothing's worked. I've tried all of those methods, Gavin said. Thank you guys for sharing. Yeah. So working on yourself, going to therapy, these other do-it-yourself kind of methods are good for you. Like improving yourself is good, but in and of themselves, they're not the solution to save your marriage. The solution is to work on changing your spouse's beliefs and their story about you. If you guys have followed us for a little while, you know that we talk about our PATH method and uncovering what their story or their narrative is. So I want to know, what is your spouse's story about you? In other words, what are the reasons why they say they want out, or maybe are justifying what they are doing? Let me know over in the chat. Here are some common ones. You won't change. I've told you for years that I want more, or I want you to be more intimate with me, and you just won't change. I don't get what I want here. Or maybe I see that you're changing, but the change is only temporary. Who here has heard that? If I come back to you, then it will go back to the way that it was, and I'm done with that, right? Yeah, lost feelings. Well, how about this? I love you, but I'm not in love with you. We're better friends. I need to find myself. I can't be in a team with her. I don't support her or match her expectations. Maybe we're not compatible. I'm getting tongue-tied. Maybe we're not compatible. Has your spouse said that? I have no voice here, Scott says. James, thank you. Yeah, and so these are the stories that our spouse has about us. I can't trust you. You broke my trust, and once trust is broken, that's it. It's over. I'm done. I'm not in love with you anymore. I need to work on myself. She's going to therapy. She said she's afraid the changes are temporary. All of those Brandon shares. Awesome. So my friends, can you see that you're not alone? Everyone here has a spouse with a negative story about them, a negative belief about them and the marriage. And what happens here is that this belief has been created over the past weeks, months, and sometimes even years. And it's become a very strong self-defense mechanism, either to prevent them from feeling some kind of pain that they've experienced from you, or that they feel guilty about what they're doing. And so the story helps them feel less guilty. So either way, it helps keep them from feeling a deeper level of pain. Okay. And we as human beings cling to our self-defense mechanisms to try to avoid pain. And we hold on to them so strongly. Now, when your spouse has a negative belief or a negative story about you, what do most people try to do? What do most people do when their spouse has a negative belief or story about them? I'll be honest, my husband has some negative beliefs and stories about me. Even still, we don't always see each other for who we really are. And so what do we do? Let me know in the chat. And I hope you can hear me okay, because it's really getting loud out there. Oh yeah, it's hail, just little hail, but it's hailing. Yeah, so what do? Yeah, we get defensive. We try to prove that it's not wrong, try to change their perception, Gigi says, convince them that their story is incorrect. Yeah, beat them to the punch and sharing negative. Oh yeah, I've seen that one too, Scott. Yeah, try to make changes and show them that this isn't true about us. We want to be right. I don't like it when my husband has a negative belief about me. And so sometimes I try to prove to him that it isn't true. But what is the problem that creates? If we're trying to prove to them it isn't true, or we get defensive, or we get negative, and before they can get negative, all of those things, right? Is our spouse either doesn't believe the changes that we're trying to make, or they just don't care anymore, which again is going to lead you further to divorce. So this is a huge mistake that I see as I'm working with you guys every week and I'm talking to you about your marriage, is that you want to try to just prove to them that this story isn't true, but to them, it is true. And all of your logic and all of your reasoning in the world is not going to convince them otherwise at this point. And so what happens is only going to push them further away, right? So what we do is help your spouse change their belief or story about you with our path method. So they see the possibility of being happy with you and want to be with you. How different would that feel for your spouse to be the one chasing after you, rather than you being the one right now chasing after them? How different would it feel that instead of trying to manipulate them or beg them or force them or plead or, desperately trying to get them back, they just wanted to be with you? Yeah, it would be that's exactly right. It would be for her to chase you again. Exactly, Brandon. And it would feel totally different. And that's what we do. And we do that within just a few weeks. So I want you to imagine that where you are right now, when you do this and you use this method, in a few weeks, we're going to have them hit the pause button. So they're no longer pushing further away. And then they're actually going to be wanting to be around, wanting to talk to you more. It shifts everything, because what happens is there's a psychological switch, a flip, we call it, inside their brain that goes from I'm being pursued and I need space to I'm curious what's happening here to I actually like what's happening here and I want to be around it more. And I'm the one doing the pursuing now because I'm afraid I'm going to lose them. It's a different psychological game. And it's not just playing mind games. I don't mean to put it like that, but it feels different to you because it is a different dynamic in the relationship of what's going on there. Let me know in the chat if you can't hear me, because it's hailing even more outside. Proof that this is live. Someone asked me once, is this really live? I'm like, yes, it's live. All right. So our path method is peaceful communication, adjusting how they see you, building up trust and healing deep root issues, and then closing and getting their commitment. Okay, awesome. All right, let me know. So do you guys want to know, let's see if we can hear this, if it's possible to hear Cynthia's story about how she opened up communication, turned her marriage around using this process. She was just like you guys. Her husband said, I'm done. I don't want to work on it anymore. It's over. There's nothing you can do. And now you get to hear in her own words where she is at. So let me see if I get this to play and you guys can hear it.
Right now, I'm going to start. I took out these 2 cards to share with you what he wrote for our anniversary, which is in December. He wrote, it's not what is whispered in my ears, but what's in my heart, my soul. You are part of me, and I'm part of you. Look at what that fairy dust has done. Giving us a wonderful relationship where we are one. What a wonderful world. In this world, there is no love like mine for you. In this world, there's no heart like mine for yours. Know this, I love you with all of my heart. I want you to know I'm yours. And then for Easter, he said, I feel blessed to be taken by the most beautiful wife in the world. I love you always and forever. Thank you for making my life amazing. I will love you to the last day of my life. Thinking about you makes me happy. You're the best wife any man can ever wish for.
So it went from threats of divorce to, and you were telling me here that Ralph didn't know how to express.
All right, I hope you can hear that okay. It's now thundering outside. So hopefully you can hear that okay. But this was one of the things that we do and we see happen every single day. So to a lot of other therapists and programs and coaches out there, saving over 12,000 marriages would be an amazing feat. To us, it's every day. And it's so beautiful and so touching. And I cannot wait to see how you guys apply this path process to get the best results in your marriage. All right. All right. Hopefully you can hear me a little better now. Let me know over in the chat if you're having a hard time. All right. So let's go into our third problem here. What if you're saying, okay, this all sounds really great, Heather. I would love to do this. I would love to have my spouse want to be with me. But what if right now they are not willing to work on this with me? And that's a big problem that about 85 to 90% of our clients have when they first come to us. So raise your hand. Let me know in the chat, is your spouse willing to work on the relationship with you right now or not? Are they willing to come to sessions? Are they willing to attend a masterclass like this? Are they willing to talk about it? Or are they saying, like most of our clients say, I'm done, it's over, there's nothing you can do? Yeah, Jen is saying, nope, no, they are not. Okay. And that's a very common problem. Gigi says he filed for divorce, calls me a piece of trash, wants 100% custody of our daughter. Yeah, possibly, Scott says, but she's cryptic. So it's a little hard to know. So she's not 100% saying I'm done, but she's not necessarily saying she's in either. It's kind of hard to read her mind, right? Gavin says she won't communicate with me at all. Yeah. I've talked to her about talking to a coach with me and she said no. Yeah. So we've got all kinds of different levels there, but more often than not, your spouse is not willing to work on it with you, or you're just not sure. And so what do most people do when their spouse will not work on the marriage with them? What do most people do? Let me know in the chat. What are you doing? What have you done in the past? What do you see other people doing? I'll just let you guys know, like the biggest one that I see is that people want to give up, right? They think, oh, there's nothing I can do if my spouse won't work on it with me. It takes 2 to tango, right? Jiri says, I think that's how I say her name. My wife doesn't say she's done, but she says she doesn't want to be forced to it. If it's come, it has to come naturally. And that's actually exactly what we want as well. So we got to help you get there. I'm showing up as the man, husband, father I want to be, Brandon says. Jen, grasp at straws. Some days give up, other days I get needy and close to beg. Yeah. So that's exactly what we do. We either give up because we think it's not possible. We demand that they work on the marriage with us. We try to force them. We manipulate them. We beg. We plead. Please don't go. Please give me a chance. Please, 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 please. Right? And what is the problem that this creates? What is the problem it creates? Right. It's going to push them further away, which is going to lead them towards divorce. It's going to create, like Jen said here, more avoidance in them because they're not feeling heard. They're not feeling respected. They're not feeling like you're taking into account what they're wanting. And they're right in a way, right? When we're just pushing for what we want without trying to understand them, we're pushing for what we want. And so we're not really understanding them. We're not really trying to find out what they're wanting and showing them respect for what their needs are, right? And so all of those things will only push your spouse further away. And it's really interesting to me as we do what we call our root assessment and we do a diagnosis of your marriage situation. I find that most people are making one of these mistakes, and I've made them myself. And you may not even realize that you are coming at it from this kind of a place. But what happens is it's going to keep that switch flipped inside of them saying, I need out, I need space, I need to, get away from this because it doesn't feel safe. And what we want to do and what we help you do is flip that switch so they actually want to spend more time with you and they want to be with you. And so we help you save your marriage, even if your spouse won't work on it with you or attend sessions. And like I said at the beginning of this part, 85 to 90% of our clients start in that place. And we're able to get them through each of these milestones to the point then where their spouse will want to work on it with them and will put an effort into the relationship again. All right. So does it sound maybe a little impossible to do if your spouse isn't on board right now? If so, you're not alone because that is against conventional wisdom. And like I said, society has really programmed us to think that there's nothing we can do in this situation. And I understand where it's coming from. You feel like your spouse maybe is calling all the shots. Do you feel like your spouse is calling all the shots right now? Do you feel like they're holding all the cards in their hands? Do you feel like they have all the power here? You're just kind of helpless in this situation? Yeah, some of you are saying yes. Raise your hand, let me know if you're feeling like that. And I understand, I felt that way too. And what I found is that there is so much more influence that we have in our marriage than we realize. And when you step into your level of empowerment, you have a huge opportunity to influence your relationship. Now, you cannot change another person. You cannot control them. You cannot make them do anything. And my friends, we wouldn't want to do that even if we could. Well, maybe there might be some who do, but that's not what this is about. This is about having them naturally want to be with you, which is what you're really wanting at the end of the day. You guys fell in love, not because you forced them to love you, but because it felt effortless. You felt drawn together like a magnet, right? And that's what we want to do here. Right now, you kind of like are magnets that are repelling each other and going the opposite direction. And what we want to do is flip that around so that you guys are drawn back together easily and naturally like a magnet. All right, makes sense? Awesome. All right, so one of our clients, and I love this story, but she wasn't sure if she could do it on her own either. We were able to help her just as we have hundreds and now thousands of other clients whose spouses didn't want to work on the marriage or attend sessions at first. I'm going to try to share her video. Hopefully it's not too quiet. Maybe
other people out. Yeah. So if you would just start off, Tina, telling us a little bit about what your marriage was like before you started working with us. What were things like in your marriage?
Well, for me, it always felt like I was being put last and that I didn't get to see him very often, that, other things came before me and the family. It felt like he was running away from me, and that hurt because, you don't want people to run away from you when you want to be close to them. And so I didn't feel close to him. We could lie next to each other and we were a million miles apart. It wouldn't matter even if we were a million miles apart, it felt that way even in the same room.
So what would you say things are like now that you've been working with us for a while? How would you describe your marriage currently?
We definitely want to spend time together again. And that hasn't happened in a while because, it was him running away and trying to find other things to do that weren't with me. And now we want to do things together. We look for things to do together and to spend time together. And it doesn't matter what it is, as long as we get to do it together. You can do it by yourself. You can change. And in you changing, other things can change too. But it has to be you. You can't change anything else but yourself. And it takes time, it takes effort, but it's possible. Things can change and things can get better. And you also need a little bit of guidance. If you don't know where you're going, you can't get there.
Well
and you
said.
need someone. Yeah. I am just so grateful that I was able to find something that has helped me so much to see myself in a different light, as a different person, as someone who is deserving of to love myself, and that I can make a difference in so many little ways, and that I can have courage to change things, and that it can be done just by me.
All right, awesome. Let me plug my mic back in here. Who here would love to get to where Tina is? So her husband was not willing to work on things with her, and now he's wanting to spend time with her, and their marriage is fully reconciled. You can tell by my hair that was several years ago, and now they are one of the happiest couples because they're following this process and using it every single day, just like my husband and I are. He just walked in the room and he's like, look outside. It was looking like it snowed. Honestly, it's covered in white hail balls. But yeah, you definitely love to get there. Brandon and Jiri, yes, exactly. So maybe you're thinking right now, okay, I'm willing to do this, Heather, even if my husband, my wife isn't on board, and even if they're not willing to work on it with me at first. But maybe we aren't even talking right now. I know some of you guys mentioned not even talking. Oh my goodness, am I still sharing the poll? Silly, sorry, that poll is still up there. That was still up. But yeah, so who here has a spouse that's just really not talking? Or maybe it's just surface level communication and they're really not opening up. They won't talk about the marriage. Every time you try to bring it up, they just shut it down. Raise your hand. Let me know if that is going on for you guys. Is this a problem that you're dealing with right now? Do you feel deeply heard? Do you feel deeply understood? Do you feel like you can share how you really feel and it's received well? Does your partner, your spouse feel like they can share how they really feel and it's received well? Yeah, she avoids me like the plague, Scott says. Yeah, exactly. And so this is a big problem when we do not have good communication, we do not have open understanding, when we are not seeing each other for who we really are and accepting each other for who we really are. That's what we actually want to create, right? So what do most people do when your spouse, like Scott here, avoids you like the plague? They will not open up to you. They will not talk to you. What do most people do to try to solve that problem? What are you trying to do? What do you see other people trying to do? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, I push them to try to talk about things. I try to resolve the deep issues, keep texting, keep bringing it up, giving up ourselves. Sometimes I feel like there's nothing I can do. So why even bother? I'm just going to give up, right? I can't get through to you. If we can't talk, then we can't really have a relationship, right? And pulling away even more. I stay neutral, allow her space. Okay, Scott. So yeah, you try to give her some space. You try to stay emotionally neutral. All right. What do most people do though when their spouse won't talk to them? We talk daily, but it's surface level. We see each other daily. Got to where she's letting me kiss her on the cheek, but doesn't let me touching her for hugs. I do tell her I love her all the time. All right. So Brandon, you've got some physical connection going on there, but if she's not fully back and committed to you, that means you've missed something along the way. So let's definitely get you there. Yeah, divorce is filed. What if dating someone else? Okay, Paige, let's definitely talk deeper about that. Maybe you can let Coach Curtis know in the chat a little bit more about what's going on. Jen, you said push the conversation, right? Try to push it. Yeah, and Coach Curtis over here said, if you want a free assessment of your marriage, like I talked about, that deep root assessment, what our coaching can do to help you. Leave your number in the chat and I will message you to schedule a call after the masterclass. So that is our free diagnosis where you get clarity on what's really going on. One of my favorite sayings is that you cannot read the label when you're inside the bottle. We are all inside the bottle of our own marriage and we cannot read the label. I cannot read the label of my own marriage. I have a coach for my own marriage because I'm too much in it that I cannot see it for what it is. And that's why it takes an expert on the outside that knows how to read the label on the bottle, to understand what's going on, to diagnose what's happening and provide the right treatment plan that's going to get you to a healthy outcome. So make sure you leave your number over there for Coach Curtis for a free marriage assessment call right after the masterclass. He'll text you. So just leave your number over there. I know we have international people on, so leave your country code as well. That way we don't miss you. Sometimes in the US, we don't remember to leave the country code. So make sure to include the country code. Okay, awesome. So what's the problem this creates, right? Is it pushes them away more. If we're trying to push them to keep talking, it causes blow-ups, a lot of blaming, name calling, a lot of tension. And if we just give up, if we clam up and we start to withdraw ourselves, then it doesn't resolve any issues. Agreed? And this is where 92% of couples get it wrong. They just do, because our society is not teaching us how to have good communication, how to really understand each other. So what we do is we help you open up that communication. So they want to talk with you and you can talk about anything. It's one of my favorite things that I get to see our couples do is they go to a place where their spouse is unwilling to open up and talk to them, to a place where they're able to talk about anything. They're able to talk about and share how they really feel. Their partner is able to feel safe enough to open up and share how they really feel. Those can be some hard conversations. And that's why it's really important that you have guidance along the way on how to handle those instead of slipping back into old patterns that have caused these problems to show up in the first place. Make sense? All right, I want to do a quick assessment with you guys so we can see where you are at in your communication level right now. Are you level 1? You haven't talked in over a year. Level 2, maybe your spouse has blocked your phone number. You cannot text him or her. Level 3, we talk 1 to 2 times per month over phone or text. 4, we talk 1 to 2 times per month face to face. Or level 5, we talk 1 to 2 times per week face to face. And level 6 being that we have amazing communication. We're totally intimate and vulnerable and able to share everything, and I totally accept it, right? So if anyone's there, let me know. Awesome, Farron. I'm glad to see level 5 happening over there for you. Brandon 5. Wow. Jiri 5. Scott 2. Okay. Gavin 1. So you haven't talked in over a year. So Gavin, we definitely need to go deeper into what's going on there and to see if there's actually a situation that can be solved. It may be too far gone, and I'm going to give it to you totally straight because it's not worth any of our time to continue thinking that it's going to work if it's just not. Okay. And I want to be really upfront about that with you. So let's go into that a little bit deeper. All right. Gigi, level 2, we communicate on the court website about legal matters. Okay. And that's going to be really challenging as well. Scott 2, but I'm seeing Jennifer 5, James 4, Jen 4, 5. Awesome. So there's a good amount of you guys that have a good, healthy, a high level of communication opportunities. So what we've found is that as long as you're talking at least a couple times per month, there is hope for you. Now, for those that rated themselves less than that, I cannot promise that there's hope for you because there's not a lot of opportunity. So let's definitely talk and go a little bit deeper into what's going on there to see if it's possible to save your marriage at this point, because it may not. And I'm just going to give it to you really straight. Okay. All right. So what do you guys think is going to help you open up that communication with your spouse? Help them want to communicate with you more? Is it having a coach tell you exactly how to respond to texts from your spouse? Is it showing you how you may unintentionally be pushing them further away? Is it helping you know how to take the pressure so that your efforts don't keep backfiring? Or is it guiding you on how to have the hard conversations that maybe they've been resisting or you've been resisting? Which of these do you think would be the most helpful? Brandon says 3 and 4. Awesome. Yeah. Having a coach help you with texting. Another answer came in there. Right. So sometimes we get some really off texts or some really challenging text messages, and we don't know how to respond. And that's what we do in the coaching, is show you exactly how to do that. James says 3, Brandon says 2. Also awesome. So we can certainly help you guys get there. We're not done yet. We still have our 5th problem, which a lot of you guys said is going on. Trust has been broken. Maybe there are affairs going on, maybe multiple affairs. What do most people do when trust has been broken in their marriage? Let me know in the chat. You guys are like A+ students here now. You're really getting this. It's super awesome to see you guys growing in within just a few moments here together. Yeah, what do most people do? They go into fear. Yeah. Start blaming, accusing, put up walls, right? Sometimes we get, the fear, the hypervigilance, hyper checking up on them. Yeah, pull away, get out, fight or flight. Yeah, blaming them, accusing them, withdrawal, all of those things. And the problem this creates is it further perpetuates distrust, the distance, and often leads to divorce. And so what we do is we help you restore trust with our path process, even if it's been broken, so you both feel safe and secure in the relationship and have a healthy relationship for life. Fear is one of those instinctual human emotions that comes to serve us, but it does not serve us when we get stuck in it and when we let it rule us. Fear comes to teach us something. But when trust has been broken, there's so much pain and so much increased fear that happens that it really causes us to experience trauma. There's a psychological response that happens, and someone mentioned it here, Brandon did, fight, flight, or freeze mode. And so what we want to do is help you to get out of the trauma response, because when we're in that response, our instincts, we just cannot rely on them. We cannot rely on ourselves to make the best choices and the best judgments. And so what we help you do is learn how to process through those emotions, and so that you can get to a calm, centered place that then you can look at what the issues really are that are causing this problem, these issues to show up, and then to solve them in a healthy and productive manner so that you both feel safe and secure in the relationship. All right. I'm actually going to skip Leah's story. Some of you guys have heard it before. It's amazing and it's beautiful, but I'm going to go on but what happened was her husband was having an affair and wanted to leave her right before the birth of their first son. And we were able to help her have her husband leave the other woman and then come back and want to be with her. And clients like Leah, maybe like you, are told that there was no hope. And many times they felt it might be hopeless themselves. And that's why it's so crucial to have an expert guide you through this step-by-step process so that you can succeed. And that's exactly what we help you do in our marriage coaching program. So I want to ask you guys, we've been here for a little while. Hope you've learned some things. What have you learned? I'd love to hear it in the chat. What stood out to you? We've learned that there are 5 big mistakes. Are you making some of them? Are you like me and you've made most of them? Are you learning why those things that most people do to try to solve them don't really work, and what it's actually going to take to get there? And I want to know, where do you guys want your marriage to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now, 30 years from now? All right. Think about where you really want to be. I love what Tina said in the video that you guys heard of her story. And she said, if you don't know where you're going, you can't get there. So you need to know where you're going to go. And then you need a little bit of guidance to help you get there so that you're not relying on those instincts that aren't really going to serve you best. So where do you guys really want to go? Where would you love to see your marriage 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now? How would it feel to have your spouse want you, chasing after you, willing to talk to you about things, willing to work on things with you, having that partnership, that connection, having that closeness, that attraction, that passion and intimacy, having the romance back in your relationship again? How great would that feel? So let me know in the chat where you guys want to be. All right, 3 to 6 months back together under the same roof. Yeah, exactly. So how would that feel, Brandon, to be back together under the same roof? How would it feel for you? What would it look like? What kind of things would you guys talk about? 5 years from now, 1 year renewing our vows, and 5 years from now, thriving. All right. I think we can get you there a lot faster. That's a very conservative, that's very conservative in my experience. But yes, I love that. That's a beautiful vision. Where do you guys want to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now? If that's hard for you to see, then I want you to take some time with this. What we found is that the most important thing that marriage is saved or not is deciding where you want to go and committing to get there. Because we can give you all the skills and the tools and the resources that society has not taught you that will help you get there. But if you aren't committed, no one can help you, right? That's the part that only you can bring to the table. Only you get to decide where you want to go. Only you get to decide what kind of relationship you want to experience. No one else gets to decide that. It is up to you to choose that. All right. Jerry says to have mutual feelings for each other, have intimacy, romance, and spark back in our marriage. Gavin says, I'm really focused on healing of our friendship first. Okay, Gavin. So be careful as you go through that, because a lot of people get stuck at the friendship stage and they've missed the last milestone, that commitment of deeper level of connection and romance. So I get where you're coming from. It is step by step and process by process. We don't go from where you are right now to like, amazing, blissful, in love, passion, romance, fireworks, all those things in one breath, right? It is a process. Awesome. Talking about anything without judgment, spending quality time together. We've never had everything in between. Awesome. Love that. Okay, sweet. So I want to ask you guys another question here. Let's see. On a scale of 1 to 100, how important is saving your marriage to you? How important is it to have that? Brandon puts 100. Awesome. Gavin, how important is it? Jerry, Al, Anthony, Bailey, Bob, Coralie, Farron, Gavin, James, Jen, Jennifer, Jeremy, Mark, Mary, Gigi, Paige. How important is it to you on a scale of 1 to 100? Awesome. You're weighing in. Farron says 100. I know that about you, Farron. Mark, 110. Gavin, 100. Jerry, 100. Awesome. Sometimes I see like a 90, which is fair. Sometimes you're like, I'm not really sure. And I appreciate the honesty. And sometimes I see like 1,000,000, which I love that enthusiasm as well. Awesome. 100, 100, 100. Beautiful. All right. Love it. So that's awesome. The bad news is, I have to share this with you. We only have a few spots open for our coaching program, and we have room for 8 more clients at this time. There's several of you guys on, a couple dozen of you guys on right now, and about 150 people are going to see the masterclass this week. Once these spots are full, then they will be full, and you'll have to wait until there's an opening. So we don't want you to wait, right? And risk moving closer to divorce. So if this speaks to you, what I'm about to share with you now, then be sure to join right away so you don't miss out and risk your spouse moving further towards divorce. Why do we only have so many spots? Because we're a very small, intimate coaching team, and we limit the number of clients that we take on to ensure that we give you guys the very best help possible. Make sense? All right, let's go into it. So this is our Gold Path Marriage Coaching Program. Let me open it up, and I will answer every single question that you guys have about this and make sure that you have all the information that you need so that you know how to move forward best. If I were in your shoes, I would want to feel like I have the right solution in my hands. And so my intention is to answer all your questions and give you guys the best solutions so that you can move forward in your marriage. Again, you cannot read the label when you're inside the bottle. So my intention here is to give you clarity on what's really going on and what it's really going to take to get you to where you want to be, where you said you guys want to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Cool? All right. So again, this is actually 8 spots. We just opened up a few more because we had some graduate, which is super exciting. We had literally 4 couples last week tell us that their marriage is now completely healed and is amazing. So we have 8 spots open, and I'm sure that they will be full though before the end of the day. Our proven path process to save your marriage in less than 6 months without getting your heart hurt. It's all the steps that we talked about, how to overcome all of those mistakes and go from where you are right now to where you really want to be in your marriage. All right. So what is that worth to you? That's my question. First of all, how much would you give to be out of the pain that you're in right now? How much is it worth to you to get to that place where you can be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, under the same roof, to talk about things, both willing to work on things again, having divorce, separation out of the picture, having the trust restored to you between you again. So we value this at only $4,200 for this first part of our Gold Path Marriage Coaching Program. And I'm going to share with you guys some bonuses for those that join in the next 24 hours. That you guys will get these bonuses, and they're not for sale or available anywhere else other than right now through this program because you came to the masterclass. We only give this to you guys because you come to the masterclass. Those that haven't attended the masterclass don't get these. And I know some of you, signed up this morning. Woohoo! Awesome, Jen. Excited for you. That's awesome. Congratulations. And so, you may not have those bonuses if you didn't sign up with the masterclass. Why do we do that? My friends, we've proven with data now that those that attend the masterclass, you are our best students. You get the very best results and you put in the work. Why? Because you come to the masterclass and it shows that you are dedicated and committed to doing what it takes to get there. And we want to reward those action takers. Okay. So my favorite bonus is right off the bat is the one-on-one coaching. I call this the fast track. There's the slow track to anything, and then there's the fast track. I personally want to be on the fast track. If your spouse is pulling away, wanting a divorce, saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, I'm done, it's over, I don't want to talk to you, then I would recommend you guys get on the fast track too, because time's not on your side. That's just the reality, right? And so what we do here is help you save your marriage in less than 180 days, sometimes faster, but I don't want to make a promise I can't keep. So it really depends on your marriage, diving in deep and finding out what's going on there with you and what the timeline looks like for you. And that's why Coach Curtis is here. He can help you see, is this going to take about 4 months, 6 months? Is it going to take over a year? And understand what's really going on there so that you guys can have a realistic expectation of what we're looking at. All right. So what is this one-on-one coaching about? Well, what it is, it's 4 1 hour one-on-one coaching sessions per week with a marriage coach, a marriage expert here at High Thrive Coaching for 10 times faster results. So it's a 1 hour coaching session every week as a bonus. That's a $4,800 value gift bonus for joining. Okay. So this works especially well for those that maybe struggled to stick with things in the past. Maybe your spouse is so checked out, unwilling to work on it with you, or you're just unsure if it's going to work. What I love about this is we take the guesswork out of it. So you literally just do what your coach tells you to do, like Leah did, like Cynthia did, like, oh, I didn't share Tom's, but Tom did, and all the other clients that we have. So many. And you just literally do what they tell you to do. And that gives you so much confidence and peace of mind, knowing that it's going to work. So here's where you get to work with the coach on exactly where you're at and what the next step is to have your spouse hit that pause button to stop pulling away from you further and start to take some steps towards you and want to be with you. We'll guide you on exactly what you might be doing that's unintentionally pushing them further away. We'll help you get clarity on what the issues are that are driving them further from you and help flip that emotional switch so they're wanting to be with you and actually chasing after you. I love one-on-one coaching. It's so powerful and so helpful. And so that is the first bonus. All right. So I'm going to skip that testimonial, so many, but let's go on to our second bonus. First bonus, we've got one-on-one coaching. Second bonus is group coaching. Now this is really fun. Pay attention to this part, okay? Here is where you get group coaching, $1,600 massive value for free. What is this? It's a 1 hour group coaching session that fits your schedule. So you always get answers that you need when you need them. Here you'll get direction on how to apply the path process to where you are at that week, how to respond to text messages that you may be getting. Like we'll literally sit down and help you craft how to respond to the text message in a way that's genuine to you. And we'll open up the opportunity to talk more, open up the opportunity to connect more. If your communication right now is not creating connection, it means you've missed something. And we definitely can't afford to keep missing it anymore. Do you agree? So let's learn how to create communication that every time we end a conversation or every time we end a communication interaction, we feel better. We feel closer. We feel heard. We feel respected. We feel understood. And your partner feels the same. That's what we want to do. All right. And we'll show you exactly how to do that. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a skill that you can learn, and we will guide you hand in hand on how to get there. All right. How to have any hard conversations that may need to have, and when is the right time to have them. If you're pushing big, hard issues too soon, it will backfire. And so there's a right time to have those conversations, and we'll guide you on when it is and how to do them and how to have them so that you're actually getting closer together rather than pulling further apart. Okay. All right. Awesome. Another beautiful testimonial from Alex here. I'm going to skip that one as well and go to our third bonus. This is our Rocket Reconnection training. So you get all 27 of our path video trainings and exercises, plus this bonus training. And what we found is it actually helps you get about 2 times faster results. And that's worth about $588 for free. So what is this? We've distilled over 100,000 hours of training and coaching sessions into 3 30-minute power-packed videos. I love these because they really do help you get right to the meat and potatoes here of what we need to do with your spouse. And what I also love about this is that it's like a vault underneath those 3 videos of all these specific issues. So you can target any specific issue that you're having with your spouse, such as how to end an affair in 3 weeks or less. Okay, there's a training for that. How to open up this kind of conversation or that kind of conversation. How to forgive, how to heal past pain, how to let your spouse let go of past pain, how to deal with addictions, alcoholism, narcissism, midlife crisis, mental health challenges, anxiety, depression, right? So you can literally just like scroll through these, and with the click of a button, you have the answer that you need without having to sift through hours of training videos or wait for your next session or anything like that, right? You get solutions that you need easily and immediately. Super powerful. Another win here from Nicole. In addition to these awesome bonuses, though, I want to give you guys a few extra bonuses. Okay. So for joining in the next 24 hours, I'll add 4 30-minute SOS bonus calls. Awesome. Welcome to High Thrive. Congratulations. Someone's already joining. All right. We're down to 7 spots, just letting you know. And that normally costs $600. Okay. For free. And I'll do that because, again, we want to reward action takers. And there's definitely some action takers among us because you guys are joining right now. All right. I didn't even tell you how to join. That's awesome. All right. So what is an SOS session? An SOS session is a session that you can claim with your coach if something unexpected happens and you get support right away. So here's a bit of a hint, my friends. Something unexpected always happens. It always happens. And so you'll never feel overwhelmed. You'll never feel lost, and you will have immediate help to overcome those challenges quickly. So you don't get stuck in them, but you're able to move through them and pass them quickly. What I love about this is that oftentimes issues that may have taken weeks or months are resolved and overcome in just a couple of hours. That's what happens when you have the right method and the right support. I'll give you an example of what this looks like. So just a few weeks ago, I got on a call, an SOS call with a client, and he was freaking out because he thought his wife was having an affair. He found, this is back, a couple months ago, actually, back in the COVID days, he found a mask that smelled like cologne. And he was like, Heather, I think she's having an affair. There's a mask in her truck that smells like cologne. And so I got on an SOS call with him, and we were able to reduce the tension and the fear that he was feeling. Remember the animal brain, right? And get to a calm, centered place so that he could address the situation properly. And what he did is he found out, instead of just accusing her or blaming her or going into this accusation, right, of having an affair, he found out that it was actually his nephew's mask. And so it was able to be an actually very connecting conversation. So instead of it blowing up and turning to even more disconnection and even a bigger issue between them, we were able to resolve it very quickly. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the power of having this kind of one-on-one help whenever you need it. And we're really in the trenches with you, helping you every day with that. All right. Plus this last bonus here, 3 tickets left to our $3,000 2-day unified marriage virtual event. Guys, we're doing something super cool. We're taking this into the metaverse, and we're creating our own marriage virtual summit. That's absolutely revolutionary. It's going to be incredible. And so these tickets are valued at $3,000 each, and they're almost completely sold out. We were doing them before on Zoom like this, and now we are upping our game and doing something truly revolutionary that's never been done before. And so you guys can get a ticket to that event. So if you join today in the next 24 hours, I'll give you one of those last 3 tickets as a bonus. And you use this for when you and your spouse are both committed to working on the marriage. So imagine this with me. You are where you are right now. You're going to go through the path process. You're going to have them hit the pause button. You're going to have them want to be with you and take steps to be with you. You're going to resolve the issues, and then you're going to get their commitment so that they want to be with you again. And now that they're committed to working on the marriage with you because you've gone through this program, like some of you guys just joined, and you're going to be doing this here very shortly in the next few weeks, you're going to, be experiencing these things. Now that you're both committed, we want to ensure that you are able to get to even the next level in your marriage and have your relationship stay strong long-term. So this ticket will be valid for 12 months, and you'll have the opportunity to use it just as soon as you and your spouse are both reconciled and committed to working on the marriage. All right, to recap here, let's break it down and I'll answer any questions you guys have. So today for joining, $4,200 for our gold program. Plus these bonuses, again, they're not for sale. They're not on our website. You won't find it anywhere else. They're just for you guys for joining the masterclass, available for the next 24 hours. Our fast track one-on-one coaching to save your marriage in less than 6 months, a $4,800 value for that one-on-one, truly intimate. We're there with you every single day, helping you get there, right? The marriage healing group coaching, $1,600 value. The Rocket reconnection training, $588 value. 4 30-minute SOS bonus calls, $600 for free. First 3 who join will get a ticket valued at $3,000 to our 2-day unified marriage virtual event. And that's worth $3,000. So altogether, $14,788. But you can join in the next 24 hours for $4,200 only. So here is the link you guys can use right now to get one of those last spots before they are gone. I'm going to copy it and put it over in the chat so you guys can click on it if this speaks to you, and you can get in before it is sold out. So you will see this link right here that I have up on my screen, highthrivelivecoaching.com/join-gold. Kind of a long URL, but that's what it is. highthrivelivecoaching.com/join-gold. All right. And you'll see that we do have a time limit on it. It's only for the next 24 hours, and only the first 8 who join will be able to get access to these bonuses. Only the first 3 who join will get an access ticket to that marriage summit. All right, awesome. So congratulations for those who have joined. Super, super exciting. This is our gold flagship program. Now, if you're saying, Heather, this sounds amazing, do you offer payment plans? Yes, we do. We can break it down into 4 payments of $1,050 if that works better for you and your budget. What I love about this is that when you guys decide where you want to go and you say, I am worth it, I am deserving, and that's the truth. You are worth it. You are deserving. You are deserving of love. You are deserving of happiness. You could not be more worthy. You are a piece of the divine, as we all are. And that is the truth of who you really are. Anything else is a lie. And if you've been bought and sold that lie and telling yourself that lie, then it's time to overcome that. It's time to let that go. And if that's been really holding you back, then we can help you with that, because that's really the heart of the work that we do here. And you're saying, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I'm committed to get there. Then the way will make itself manifested. So when you decide where you want to go, the way always shows up, and anything else is just a lie or a limitation. I'll give you a story here. I had a client on, an attendee at a masterclass, probably back in, October? Yeah, in October. And he lived up in Alaska. So there's already tons of snow up in Alaska in October. And he was so committed to doing this. He's like, Heather, my marriage means everything to me. I want to make this work. I'm a school bus driver, and $4,200 is a lot because finances can be challenging. And I get that. He's like, but I'm committed to doing it. I'm committed to doing it because this means everything to me. And I don't want to live my life with regret that I didn't give my marriage every chance possible. And so I was helping him, working with him for a few weeks. And he's like, I'm committed. I'm going to do it. I'm committed. The way is going to show up. And I was like, it is going to show up. And he found that he could sell his snowblower. And so he sold his snowblower in Alaska to do this program. And I love that level of dedication and commitment, because I mean, Alaska, come on, snowblowers are important. But he said this, he said, Heather, money comes and goes. Snowblowers come and go. My marriage doesn't just come and go. And this means everything to me. And so I'm encouraging you guys that if this speaks to you, to lean into that voice inside of you that says, I need to do this. And I want to know that I am not going to live my life with any regret, that I can look back at this time in my life, a year from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now. I can look back at this time in my life, at the end of my life, and say, I don't have any regret. I did everything I could to make it work, and it was worth it because I know that I gave it everything I could, versus the pain and regret of knowing that you had an opportunity to change something and you didn't do it. To me, that is the worst pain that any of us will ever feel, is the pain of regret. And I do not want that for you. So you guys really decide where you want to go, where you want to be in your marriage and in your life. The truth is, challenges are going to come to all of us. They come to all of us and they will continue to come to all of us. It's what we choose to do about them that matters at the end of the day. And so what kind of person do you want to be at the end of the day? So decide where you want to go, and then we will help you get there. All right, so go ahead and leave your number over in the chat. Let us know if you are wanting to explore what your situation is, wondering if this is going to work for you in your specific situation. We will do that marriage analysis with you totally free and help you understand what's really going on there. A couple of you guys talked about very little communication going on. You guys rated yourself at like a level 2, if you remember back when we did that. And so I really want to make sure that there is opportunity for you to save your marriage at this point. For those that rated 3, 4, and 5, I know that there is opportunity for you to save your marriage. We just need to teach you the skills that you haven't learned up until this point. It's not your fault that you haven't learned them. And it's not your fault that things are where they are. The good news is you can learn them now. And when you change a few things, everything is going to change for you. And that's why we've been able to help so many couples so successfully to turn their marriage around. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And it's a beautiful thing for you to experience. So I cannot wait to see you guys in the program. I cannot wait to see you in the summit. It's going to be super amazing. I'm super excited for everyone who joined. And just imagine in just a few weeks from now, your spouse is going to hit that pause button. They won't be pulling away from you any further. They're going to consider the possibility of being happy with you again. And then as you continue to follow this process, they are actually going to take some steps towards you and want to be with you again, want to give you their heart fully again, to be fully, deeply committed to you and have that beautiful, thriving marriage, that closeness that your heart is really craving. Awesome. Gavin, got your number over there. Make sure to include the country code so we don't miss you in case you're in the UK or I know we had someone from Australia as well. So we make sure we don't want to miss you over there. Awesome. Got it, Gavin. Thank you. So yeah, we will be reaching out to you guys right after the masterclass. Now, if you're saying, Heather, this sounds really good, that is really far out of my budget. I hear you. I hear you. And so let us know over in the chat what your number is, and we'll see if there's a program that we can do that will fit your budget better. Okay, we do have some smaller packages, a little less one-on-one coaching, a little less of the group coaching, but can still be a great option for where you are at right now in your budget. Awesome. Brandon got your number there as well. Sweet. We will be reaching out to you. So any other questions that I may have missed? Curtis, did you see anything over in the chat that this is your your chance now? Pick my brain. I am an open book, completely transparent. Let me know any questions that you guys have about the program, about where your marriage is at, if this is possible for your marriage at this point. Any questions that you guys may have. I have about 5 minutes. I'd love to answer anything that is on your heart or your mind. Let me know how I can serve you best. So put that over in the chat and I'll make sure that we answer it right away. Thank you, Curtis, for helping in the chat. I see a lot of you going back and forth there about what's going on for you. That's super awesome and excited for everyone. Awesome. Congratulations. We are filling up. I'm excited and I'm hopeful that everyone that is wanting to do this has the opportunity to do so. So again, put your number over in the chat if you want Coach Curtis to reach out to you. He will be texting you guys and getting back to you within the next 24 hours to make sure you don't miss out on the special bonus opportunities that we have today. All right, I'm not seeing any questions come through. Oh, that's unusual. I usually have a few. Oh, here we go. All right. Yeah. All right. All right. You just got a new job. You're wondering about your budget. Yeah. So we'll definitely find something that works for you. We want to make sure that it is a win-win as you guys move forward and that it's something that you guys can do. And we've found that this process is ultra, ultra effective. Of course, those that do the gold program tend to get, the fastest results. Maybe you have a lesser budget. Totally cool. All right. Any other questions? Farron says, High Thrive coaching was the best decision I ever made. Yes, it is. Thank you. So worth the money. And you're awesome, Farron. You did the work. And so you got the results. And that's what it takes is you guys decide where you want to go and you show up with that level of commitment and it will work. Yeah. Awesome. Bailey, thank you. Cannot afford the package, but I'm in need of some help. Is doing the PATH course a bad way to start? No, it's not. So the PATH course is an option that we have for those that, just cannot do the one-on-one coaching. The challenge with that, and I'm just being totally transparent, is that you do not get the one-on-one feedback about if you're doing it correctly or not. And that's one of the cons to kind of a do-it-yourself kind of program. In fact, Mark and I weren't even sure we wanted to offer that because it's hard to know if you're doing it right. So that's why if you can, I would really encourage you to at least get some level of coaching. Maybe that's group coaching with a little bit of one-on-one coaching. We have a lot of different packages that can work for a lot of different budgets. So I'd really encourage you to do that. And so that helps us know if we're doing it right. I was a basketball player back in high school, and I would think that I'm doing everything right with my free throw shot. And then my coach would come and critique it. She's like, you're turning your hips every time you're shooting, which is causing it to get a little off the mark. So make sure you square up your hips, release it like this. And that's the beauty of having a coach, is getting that feedback to know if we're doing it right. Otherwise, we're kind of left to our own devices. And if we're left to our own devices, we might just get more of the same, which is not what we want, right? You're here because you're definitely wanting to see things improve. And so that is my best answer there, is to at least do what you can to get some kind of feedback from our coaches to know if you're doing it right, because that is the best and fastest way to move things forward. Okay, awesome. Any other questions? Checking the Q&A. Sounds like our thunder's slowing down. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. That's the first time I did a masterclass with a massive hailstorm going on outside. Awesome. Yeah, we can definitely work with you on that, Bailey. Yeah, we definitely talked to Coach Curtis about where your budget is at and what will work for you. We'd like to meet you guys with where you're at and be able to provide you the best solutions that we can. Beautiful. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions, but if you have them, please reach out to Coach Curtis and he will answer all of them for you. So last call, you can put your number over in the chat. So Curtis will reach out to you directly after the masterclass. Above all, my friends, I hope that this has been a service to you. I hope that you are able to listen to the inner voice inside of your heart that knows truth, and that you're able to tune into that part of your inner being that says, I need to do this. I need to know that I gave my marriage everything I could, and to live your life with absolute peace of mind and have no regrets, because life is really short. It's a precious, beautiful gift. So thank you for joining me today. Super excited for everyone who's joining the program. I honor you for coming. You are an incredible, beautiful soul. And it says something so special about you, that you are willing to learn. You're willing to try some new things. You're willing to look at your life and your relationships and make them the best that you can. So excited. And my friends, I cannot wait to see your marriage thrive. Thank you for coming, and we'll talk again soon.